And right now, live from the Las Vegas Strip on News 3 Live at 5, America's Party is getting underway in Las Vegas. And if you plan to head out for some fun tonight, there are some restrictions you need to know about what Metro is doing to keep everyone safe.
Also ahead, a UMC nurse accused of selling prescription drugs. We'll have the latest in the investigation and tell you how she was caught.
We're also going to bring you an exclusive interview with Penn Jillette of Penn & Teller on their 21st anniversary performing here in Las Vegas. He tells us about the changing Strip entertainment scene. News 3 Live at 5 starts right now.
Live at 5 with Jessica Moore and Jim Snyder. This is News 3.
And here we go. 2014 is almost here. We are taking a live look at the Strip where America's Party is just getting started, and we are coming to you live from right in front of the Strip tonight. And we want to cover all the fun to be had out there tonight, but also we want to help to keep everyone safe. And if you are planning to head out, Metro is getting the word out about some kind of do's and don'ts when you're out here.
That's a good way to put it. And with more on what you can do and what you can't bring to the Strip tonight, we want to bring in News 3's Denise Rosh.
Well, Jim and Jessica, the fun is about to start here on Fremont Street at 6 o'clock, but as always, safety and security will be the #1 priority. In fact, all the stores here along Fremont Street and the Strip have been covering up displays that sell glass bottles or aluminum cans. Those are strictly banned for this evening. It's plastic containers only. And to make sure partygoers stick to that rule, no backpacks or large purses will be allowed. There is also a curfew. Anyone under 18 must be with a parent out on the Strip. But here along Fremont Street, the rule is even tougher.
First of all, Fremont Street Experience, it's the only day of the year where it's paid admission. It's a nominal fee, $40 to get on Fremont Street Experience tonight. You have to be 21. We feel it's not a place for kids or children to hang out.
And police are also reminding us, of course, no celebratory gunfire this evening. Not only is it against the law, it is dangerous and stupid. Let's start 2014 on a safe note. Reporting live on Fremont Street, I'm Denise Rosh for News 3. Jim and Jess, let's go back to you.
All right, no gunfire needed down here at all to celebrate with the kind of fireworks we're going to be seeing later on tonight.
Exactly. We've got a lot of activity down here, and this, of course, is the time of year when all of us are making New Year's resolutions. Yes. Maybe lose weight, quit smoking. Those might be some of the resolutions at the top of your list. News 3's Elizabeth Donatelli reports on the struggle to reach those goals.
According to the government, 43 million Americans smoke.
This is a smoker wall, so for people who are retiring their cigarettes.
And many may be trying to quit.
Sign their names, write the date, and write whatever they want on it. You know, people write inspirational things. Like this lady wrote, "I swear on my babies, this is my last pack of cigarettes."
Midhani Gabrai, part owner of Lair Vapor Lounge, says e-cigarettes can help. Customer Shane Ferguson agrees vaping did it for him.
It's cost effective, you save money. And basically, like, I'll never start up smoking ever again.
Quitting smoking is number 7 on the list of resolutions, according to the University of Scranton. Ferguson's girlfriend, Chris Rossner, wants to be healthier, which is number 5.
To give up drinking for my health, to stop being crazy.
Well, topping the list is really no surprise. Is hitting the gym and losing weight.
I think New Year's resolutions are a great way to start the year.
Melissa Webb with Red Rock Psychological Health's best advice is keep your goals simple.
I think people get really overwhelmed when they create these huge goals, and then they feel bad when they don't make them. So if you make tiny little goals that you can do every single week, then you feel good about your progress.
But as Scranton stats show, chances are you won't. After the ball drops, a quarter of people will only last 1 week. Halfway through the year, 54% will be off the wagon. So take it from Rossner, who's actually kept a resolution.
It's all, one step at a time, 1 year at a time, every day.
Elizabeth Donatelli, News 3.
Not to put you on the spot here, Snyder, but I'm probably going to ask you at some point tonight what your New Year's resolutions are. And we're going to be on the air for a long time, so you've got a little time to think about it.
So it's fair warning to come up with something.
Exactly.
How do you know I already haven't? I could be ready to go right now.
You're full of surprises.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I'm going to let the suspense be out there, hang in the air for a little while. Hey, we've got crews covering every angle of this celebration and what a big economic impact it is for our city. One of our focuses, of course, is always on the roads, keeping everybody safe out there. And Nevada Highway Patrol has a big presence out on the roads today. They're specifically cracking down on truck drivers. And Venice Toussaint takes a look at that angle for us.
We stop dozens and dozens of trucks per hour.
New Year's Eve for Nevada Highway Patrol troopers looks like this. Troopers from across the state set up at every major entry point into the valley, checking semis for explosives and hazardous materials.
We want to make it as safe as possible and identify any potential threats.
The troopers have been pulling trucks over at inspection points for the past 2 days and will be as the clock strikes midnight, making sure thousands on the Strip and throughout the valley can celebrate the new year safely. We're at I-15 northbound at Sloan. This is one of 3 NHP checkpoints. Troopers are stopping trucks, checking for violations. Barry Logan has been a truck driver for 46 years. Today he's delivering produce to Minnesota. And for the past 20 minutes, he's been at this checkpoint waiting to be cleared.
Oh, I go through a lot of them.
Logan says though the inspections are an inconvenience, they come with the territory.
There's usually one in every state that I go through.
NHP troopers will be out inspecting trucks throughout the evening, and shortly after midnight, they'll then hit the roads looking for people driving impaired. Venice Toussaint, News 3.
We consider ourselves pretty lucky every year to have this front row seat
Yes.
to all the action right behind us. We're sitting right on top of Las Vegas Boulevard, but Tom Hawley might be able to trump us. He actually has a bird's eye view of all this action.
He comes up with some amazing shots later on of the fireworks. And Tom Hawley, we understand you're spying on us up there somewhere right now.
Oh, right now I've got a shot of Jim and Jessica in front of Caesar's Palace, so I just want to let people see where they are. There's Jim waving, and I'm going to pull out wide on this shot to give you a perspective on exactly where we are, and I'll pull out for the double shot. And yeah, so they are right in the heart of everything, and that includes all the bright lights of the Strip, and it also includes, as we look up towards I-15, some of the bright lights of the Nevada Department of Transportation and NHP as they get ready to put up the barricades. You can see the crews are there now. The roads have not yet been closed, but they are ready to go really any minute now. It all happens sometime between 5 and 6, and they sort of play it by ear according to when traffic conditions dictate. And once they close off the exits, then they start the process of closing down the Strip. You can see there's already thousands and thousands of people walking by. This is just to get ready. Why do people come here? Here's an example. Just took this video from 5 minutes ago. The Strip is amazing any day. These are the volcanoes in front of the Mirage Hotel. So people coming to see sites like this, but back in the live shot, you can see thousands of them milling about. These are the people who are just going past the Mirage over to Caesar's Palace, and some of them will end up right over here behind Jim and Jessica, who really have the catbird seat in front of Caesar's Palace, and it will be fun as the evening continues. Back to you.
I like that, the catbird seat.
Yeah, I feel so spied on. It's like a drone is up there watching
You
our
love
every move.
it. You were waving at Tom. So the start of 2014 is a fresh beginning for all of us, but it means it's a little something extra special for a lot of folks living here in southern Nevada. Starting in just 2 days, undocumented residents can start applying for those driver's authorization cards.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work ever since this passed in the legislature to get ready for this day, and you need to know there's some very strict guidelines in place as far as who is eligible and the process they need to go through to get one of those cards. And News 3's Sandra Gonzalez has been looking into that for us.
DMV offices are ready for driver authorization card applicants. And while many employees are bilingual, some people may want to bring a friend or family member to help them with English. The DMV's Kevin Malone says that's okay to a point.
You can bring in anyone to help you at the window and at the front desk to help you through the process if you're English limited.
A person can get help with translating when taking the written test. It's rare, but it happens every so often. This has to be a court-certified translator to accompany the person applying.
A court-certified interpreter can come into the testing room with the applicant.
La respuesta correcta es...
But the DMV does provide the test in Spanish, both audibly and visually. People will need proof of identity for driver authorization cards, and that will require foreign birth certificates being translated by a DMV-approved translator. There are many, and they're listed on the DMV website. Elizabeth Gialanza is one of them. She charges $30 as a flat rate.
I'm trying to help the client. I'm not trying to become rich or, I'm trying to help. And that we've done so many services here that it's more for the client. It's not for, to help them.
We made calls to several translators, and the prices range from $20 to $50 to translate birth certificates.
We encourage everyone to call around and get the best price and make sure you're comfortable with the person you're dealing with.
The cost of translating documents, added to the card cost and test fees, could total around $100. The DMV says it's not sure how many people will initially apply, but estimates are up to 60,000 this first year. Sandra Gonzalez, News 3.
And there is a lot more of News 3 Live at 5 coming up right after this break. Live from outside Caesars Palace, we're going to tell you about a story of a UMC nurse accused of selling prescription drugs.
We're going to tell you about that unusual investigation and the charges she faces.
Also ahead, one of the world's top magicians on the changing strip entertainment scene. We have an exclusive interview with Penn Jillette coming up.
And I'm Kevin Janison, live at the Fremont Street Experience. Just sound checks now, but coming up in literally a couple of hours, it'll be mass controlled chaos. We're going to have a good time, and we'll tell you about the festivities here in your forecast coming up.
And welcome back live to the Las Vegas Strip, where we are covering America's Party 2014 and also all the other news of note going around town today, including this very unusual story. A UMC nurse is accused of selling drugs, not only prescription drugs, but also meth and marijuana.
The woman's name is Ursula St. Clair, and detectives contacted her by arranging to buy the drugs from her and her boyfriend. News 3's Fatima Ramatullah spoke with the two in a jailhouse interview.
That's 43-year-old Alex Fernandez. He was arrested along with his girlfriend, 38-year-old Ursula St. Clair, after an undercover drug operation. St. Clair worked as a registered nurse at UMC and St. Rose. According to the Nevada State Board of Nursing, she has been licensed as a nurse in the state since 2005. Undercover detectives contacted St. Clair's cell phone, arranging to buy meth, marijuana, and prescription drugs like hydrocodone.
My girlfriend, she was the one who was introduced to the person.
In a jailhouse interview with St. Clair, it's hard to hear, but she says she let people influence and manipulate her. She says it was Fernandez who was using her phone and that she was drugged up when she made those drops. But her boyfriend tells a different story.
She's got kids there, but, it's Christmas time. The electric was about to be shut off.
She says this all started in September when he moved from Chicago. He hasn't worked the last 9 months. Detectives purchased drugs from the couple a total of 3 times before obtaining a search warrant for their apartment and car. And Fernandez claims he didn't know the guys the couple were getting drugs from.
Sometimes, people that she knew and that she introduced me to. I mean, I didn't know any of these people. The only people that I knew out here was my cousin.
The couple faces charges of trafficking, possession, and selling a controlled substance. Fatima Ramatullah, News 3.
So those two made their first court appearance today. They will be back in court in the middle of January for a preliminary hearing, and that's when the judge will decide if there's enough evidence here to send this case on to trial.
Still ahead in this broadcast, an exclusive interview with Penn Jillette of the famous Penn & Teller.
It's been 21 years, if you can believe it, since they began performing here in Las Vegas. I hate to admit it, but I remember opening night when they were the hot new show in town, where he's going to give us his take. Penn is on the ever-changing scene on the Strip.
Plus, let's take a live look right now at New York's Times Square as people all over the country get ready to watch the legendary ball drop. We'll have a live report coming up. Welcome back to News 3 Live at 5. We are live outside Caesars Palace. Jessica Moore and Jim Snyder here. And as celebrations get underway here in Las Vegas, 1 million people will watch the ball drop in the legendary Times Square.
We like our hometown party a little better, but we wanted to check in there, and NBC's Stephanie Stanton is really logging the frequent flyer miles. Stephanie, last time we talked with you, you were at LA at the Voice Finals, and now you're in the Big Apple. How's it going there?
Yes, it is amazing. You guys, this is the first time I've ever covered Times Square in New York, and the energy is unlike anything I've ever experienced. The party is well underway here. We are less than 4 hours away from the legendary ball dropping. Right now we have country singer Rodney Atkins taking the stage. Tonight you can expect to see Melissa Etheridge, Blondie, Miley Cyrus singing. It's going to be a big, big night. And then at 11:59, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor will flip the switch and officially ring in 2014. So a big, big night ahead. The excitement is building, the intensity is building, and right now, you guys, there are millions of people, just a sea of people as far as the eye can see here in Times Square.
And Stephanie, what a difference from your home base in LA. I see you've thoroughly bundled up. Give us a sense of how cold it is on the ground there in New York City.
Wow. It is very cold. At last check, it was 26 degrees. I've got layer upon layer, mittens. I have hand warmers, foot warmers. My toes were getting numb earlier. It's just, it's really, really bone-chilling cold here. Something I'm definitely not used to, but of course, willing to brave it for this incredible experience. This is one for the bucket list, you guys.
All right, Stephanie Stanton, the West Coast girl, braving the elements there in New York. Thank you for the update. I actually got to go out there and experience that firsthand one time, and it is something. I mean, like she said, millions of people all together.
Yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list. Now we want to move along to an exclusive interview. They are avowed atheists and skeptics, and their comedic magic act embraces gore, politics, and, of course, the clever prank. And this weekend's the 21st anniversary of Penn and Teller's stint in Las Vegas. The last 13 of those years have been spent at the Rio.
Yeah, it is a unique duo, to say the least, as you were pointing out there. And last night we had a chance to talk with Penn Jillette about the changing entertainment scene here on the Las Vegas Strip and the freedom these two have really found to express themselves right here in Las Vegas.
We worked off-Broadway in New York City, and we worked Broadway in New York City, and yet the stuff we've done here in a Vegas showroom is more daring, more creative, more wild than anything we did back in New York. That's, I can't say more good about Vegas than that.
And so Penn and Teller are at the top of their professions, recipients this year of a star along the Hollywood Walk of Fame, just a few steps away from the legendary Harry Houdini star. Their edgy brand of magic has inspired a new generation of magicians. The 58-year-old Jillette says he's convinced that Las Vegas is undergoing what he calls a significant transformation with the downtown redevelopment efforts of Zappos CEO Tony Hsieh.
That does change a community, and I think we're starting to see with the Smith Center and the stuff that Tony's doing with downtown and the venues that are popping up there, we're going to start to see more of a real Vegas art scene.
You're going to hear more from Penn Jillette coming up in our later broadcasts and the big show at 10 o'clock tonight. But I could tell you, as I said, I was around here when they came to town, and there were a lot of skeptics going, this doesn't seem like a Vegas showgirl type show. They wondered if it would make it here. 21 years later, they're doing pretty well.
Absolutely. And someone else who's made it here for the past several years is Kevin Janison. He is live for us downtown Fremont Street with a check of our New Year's Eve forecast. Hi, KJ.
Hey, Jessica, Jim, how's it going? This is our last minute or two of serenity on Fremont Street. Essentially what they do is they close the street down. This is the one night every year that it is closed as far as just walking in with as you wish. And then there's an admission charge because we've got 3 stages set up, and the bands will begin playing at 6 o'clock, not end until 3 a.m. On the 3rd Street stage, we have Adelaide's Way. That is a band with local roots, followed by Papa Roach, and then Vince Neil will be playing. Over on the 1st Street stage, it'll be Blues Traveler and Loverboy. They'll be the headliners down there. We expect more than 20,000 people. That's usually who winds up strolling on down here in a very festive way to ring out one year and and help celebrate the arrival of a brand new year. And what a great weather picture we have for you. Underneath a few high clouds now, the temperature's at 56 degrees, a little southerly breeze at 5 miles per hour. At our WaterSmart neighborhood weather stations, numbers also dipping into and down into the lower 50s in some valley neighborhoods. We hit 60 today, that after a morning low of 38. So, in the ballpark of normal, but nice to be above average, especially on the high side. And over the satellite picture we go, mostly clear much of the day, but you can see that thin strand of clouds going through now. It'll take a couple of hours to get all these clouds through the valley sky. We should clear off later on tonight. The wider views, a lot of action in the Pacific, but most of the energy is going into the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada, which sets up a great start to 2014. So let's get to those numbers. How about these for low temperatures? Even the mountains only going down to 30. If you want 20s, then highs tomorrow, it's mid-60s galore. Laughlin at 69, Death Valley at 69. Tonight at midnight, we expect a temperature of 46 degrees. It's about a dozen warmer than it was last year at midnight, and only a 3-mile-per-hour breeze out of the south. Then the overnight low will dip down to 42. We're calling it mostly clear because we do have these evening clouds that will clear out late. Lots of New Year's Day sunshine and 66 big ones for the high temperature, and those highs stay in the 60s not only tomorrow but at least through Saturday. Maybe a slight dip on Sunday, and then we'll get back to the mid-60s for the first full week of 2014. This is, we have the outdoor bars that are set up. These people will come down here and they actually consume these 55-ounce beverages. It gets a little crazy. If you haven't watched before, we've been out here since they put the roof on, which I think was 19 years ago, and it gets more enjoyable, more entertaining, and dare I say more chaotic each year. We're looking forward to bringing it to you live during our 10 p.m. newscast, and Jim and Jessica will be back here at 5 right after this.
Welcome back to the beautiful Las Vegas Strip on this New Year's Eve. We are mere hours away from 2014. Jim Snyder and Jessica Moore here live outside Caesars Palace, and we are ready for a night full of fun. We're going to be on the air with you for several hours, counting down into the start of a brand new year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is the broadcast we look forward to, frankly, the most out of every year because it's positive. It's a lot of fun to talk about all that we've accomplished and all the good memories we have from the year that's passed. And then this night is all about optimism and enthusiasm for the year that comes ahead. And we're looking forward to sharing all of that with thousands of screaming fans that will be right on Las Vegas Boulevard right behind us. We're just noticing Metro is starting to block off the center lanes of the boulevard, and that will just get wider and wider until the whole thing is shut down later tonight.
And you hear people getting excited behind us.
Trust me,
that only gets louder and louder as the night goes on. And really, you don't need to leave the comfort of your own home, your own New Year's Eve party. We'll bring the party to you. So just hang back, make yourself a nice little snack, maybe a few cocktails, and enjoy the evening. And if you do enjoy some cocktails and you're not at home tonight, we wanted to let you know there's a program called Tipsy Toe that'll take you home for free if you've been drinking, so you don't have to risk driving under the influence at all. There's information on our website. There's a 1-800 number that you can call as well, so it's a great service for the local folks here.
Yeah, AAA puts that on, and they even bring your car home with you. So the next morning you don't have anything to worry about. And also, if you're out and about and you just want to hop on a bus, the RTC is offering free bus rides tonight too. So you've got some free options to get home safely, and we hope everybody who does venture out does that as well.
And we will have more news for you live from outside Caesars Palace right after this break.
A lot of locals every year say there's no way I'm going anywhere close to the Strip on a night like tonight, and that's fine, but you have to keep in mind that even if you're not coming down here, what's happening down here can affect you. There are major road closures about to kick in. In fact, they told us just after 5 p.m. that blockades would be going up on the Strip. The I-15 off-ramps at eastbound Trop, Flamingo, and Spring Mountain are going to be closed to traffic as well. All streets going westbound toward the boulevard from Koval will close between between Sahara and Russell. Then at 6:30, the boulevard and inbound roads to the Strip will close to traffic, and the roads all 1:30 in the morning.
But let's face it, a lot of you don't want to fight the crowds. That's why we're bringing the party to you. We've got you covered. You can join Jim and me and the rest of the News 3 team for America's Party 2014.
We'll show some of those greetings right here on the air.
That does it for us at 5, but we will join you again live outside Caesars Palace for News 3 Nightly coming up at 6.
Happy New Year.